it's Sheldon with TigerTough. Right now you're looking at a set of our seat covers in the back of a Jeep Gladiator. I'm gonna run through all the pieces that you get when you order a set of these covers. You can see we've got the entire back seat covered. So the separate pieces that you're gonna get are one piece here for the passenger side seat bottom, another piece for the driver's side seat bottom, driver's side seat back, passenger side seat back, and all three headrests are also covered. So any place that you're gonna touch on these seats is covered, including the bottoms. So that way if you're running with the seats flipped up, hauling something in the back of the cab, bottom side of your seat is still protected. These are the gray iron weave covers made from 1000 denier Cordura. The reason we use that fabric is because it is almost indestructible. It is highly abrasion resistant, super hard to puncture, and it's waterproof. So you spill something back here, it's just gonna pool up here or run off because it is not soaking in here. Wipe it up with a rag, you're good to go. Because they're almost indestructible, that lets us do a 2-year unconditional warranty. That means if something breaks for any reason within 2 years, it is covered under warranty. My favorite part, they are completely made in the USA. One thing to check out here, you can see all of the car seat anchor points are still available, so that if you do haul kids in the back of here, you can still lock their car seats in just like you're supposed to. Before we even get started on this, you will need to fold your seat backs down to put the covers on. If you pull this strap right here and your seat back does not fold down, they're locked. So you can see right there, you just insert your key in there and give it a twist. That will unlock it and then let you fold the seat back forward. Let's get started with the install. And before we start putting anything on, we need to take this center headrest off. And to do that, it just pulls up and then there's 2 buttons at the base of it, one on either side. Push them both in and you can pull it out. Why it has obnoxiously long posts, I don't know. These headrests do not need to come off, so we're just gonna leave them there. I'm starting with the passenger side seat back, and I'm doing that for a very specific reason. As we put this on, go back and forth, you'll see it end up tipping the seat back up, tip it down, basically move it around however you need to in order to get the cover on. First thing I'm gonna do though is push the cover between the seat belt and the seat back. Now, the reason I lean the seat back to do that is because once you lean the seat forward, you can't move the seat belt, so it's a little bit more difficult. Still doable, just harder. Now I'm putting this right over top of the headrest, and the TigerTough tag is facing the door, so that if it's facing the center, you're putting this on backwards and it's not gonna work right. Now this is just gonna wrap around like so, and then I'm gonna stretch the cover over these plastic pieces of trim here. Now, the reason I did that right away is because now that's gonna hold this cover in place while I work on getting it on the seat correctly. So we'll pull it down here, pull it down here. What I'm doing right now is just getting it, rather than fastening it immediately like this, I'm getting it all situated and arranged how I want it so I know it's fitting the seat right before we fasten it together. So just like we put the cover around that plastic, gonna do the same thing around the seat belt here. These 2 little flaps right here, I just pushed through underneath the headrest. And again, the cover gets tucked underneath that plastic trim. It's the details, folks. There we go. Lay it down. And now these go inside the cover on the back. Gets fastened together like that. You're gonna wanna make sure that the seams in the cover line up with the corners on the seat. And then we can start fastening everything together. And as you go down fastening this together, it might take a couple of tries to get everything nice and tight, looking good, but take your time because it's definitely worth it. There we go. Now, this hole is lined up with the latch for the seat, so when I fold it back up, latches in like it's supposed to. These flaps right here need to get pushed between the seat back and the seat bottom, right there. This is the hook part of hook and loop. If you just jam it through there, you can do that, it'll work. However, there's like a soft carpet material underneath here. This will try and stick to it and it's hard to get it off. So what I do, I fold it over like that. That way that hook is hidden inside the cover, and then it just slides right through. Makes it so much easier. Okay, 1, 2, 3 flaps. Perfect. Now I'm gonna let you know a little industry secret, making your covers look good. Pull this flap as hard as you humanly can, because it'll make your covers fit better. It'll make them nice and tight so they don't slide around, make them look good, and you won't rip it. There we go. Now, this looked great. This looks not great. So I just stick my thumb in there, pull the cover over, boom, looks great. That was easy. Now let's cover the bottom. 1 seat bottom cover. This is for the passenger side because, whoop, it's long. The short one goes on the driver's side. Also, that was upside down because these big squares here, they gotta be on top. So we'll flip the seat bottom up. Start just getting the cover sort of placed over here. There we go. So see, right there, I turned the cover so that the seams here lined up with the seams in the seat, and then it just jumped into place. Now, this is the loop part of hook and loop. It will not stick to that carpet fabric back there, so you don't have to fold this over. You can just push it through. And the reason I am tipping the seat bottom up partway when I do this, same as when I tip the seat back partway forward, is because when you do that, it creates a bit wider gap. Get your hands in there easier. That slides right through there. Now this piece, whoop, fastens like that. There's a seam in there so that way it can go around the seat belt. We're good to go. Now, these car seat anchor points, tuck that right in behind there. Now this is more than just looking pretty. This helps keep your cover on. There we go. Now we'll fasten everything together. Okay, this piece right here, just like before, pull it as tight as you can. You won't be able to pull it very far because it is locked in place by that trimmer on those car seat anchor points. Did that. Now this one here, don't pull this one as tight as you can. I'm going to, and then I'm going to show you what happens. So if you hold that down nice and tight and stick it up there, you get a big old pillow right here. See? Now, if I don't pull it nice and tight, and instead I push the seat cover down into the factory crease right there. See that? Then we just hold it up and stick it together. Then this side piece will haul down nice and tight, stick on there. Same goes for this one. Stick it on there. And then there we go. Now that cover lays into that crease a lot more like it's supposed to. Now we're gonna cover the seat back on the driver's side. Super similar process to the passenger side, just smaller. So I've already kind of gone ahead and undone most all these. Now they're all undone. TigerTough tag faces the door. There we go. Got that all pulled down so that the seams line up with the corners of the seat. Now we'll push these flaps through and just like before, tuck them underneath that plastic so it fits gooder and looks gooder. Then stick them up inside there. This hole lines up with that. I'm actually going to pull it down a little bit further. Now that hole lines up perfectly. Again, I'm folding that over on itself before I push it through there. Push it through, pull it as tight as you can. Just pull till you start feeling like you're gonna burst a blood vessel, and then it's about hard enough. Perfect. All right, next up is the seat bottom. Like before, undo everything. Make sure the big old squares here are at the top. And slide it on over. And there we go. Now I'm just gonna work the cover behind that plastic trim. There we go. Now it is locked in. Push that through there. You want a little bit of this loop sticking out on both sides because these straps right here need to come down and stick to it. like that. And there we go. Bottom is covered. Now we cover the headrests. I'm gonna start with this one right here because it's right in front of me. So these are different from each other. You can tell that because they've got, if we hold them with these two flaps here sticking down the front, they've got holes on either side. So with this flap sticking down the front, I need this hole on the right side of the cover. Slide it down. On the side of the headrest right here is the button that you push to fold it forward. You just tuck the cover back in behind that trim and are good to go. Now this here is just gonna go underneath the headrest, up inside the cover, and it sticks together like that. Exact same process for this side. Slides down. So right there you saw I was twisting it back and forth a little bit. It fits quite tight. So that just helps, rather than just trying to ram it straight down, when I twist it side to side, helps it slide back and forth in the actual headrest and go down. Tucked cover in behind the plastic. Flap was underneath the headrest, up around the back, and inside the cover. Now we cover this little guy. I'm gonna set it like that with the metal bars facing up, and then it's gonna go into the cover with all three of these flaps coming around the back side like that. And then we'll stick it all together like so. This one is way, way easier to cover off of the seat. Now that it's covered, goes back in, slide it down, and ta-da, finished.